All right. We on.
Yay, yay. What up, everybody? Good evening. We right here in the Champion City podcast. You know, it's a nice, cool night tonight. You know what I'm saying? So I just,
Finally, it's cooling down though.
yeah, it's not uh, uh, too hot, not too cold. A lot's going on right now in California and in LA. You know what I'm saying? So especially with all these fires and the president's here right now. The new president elect, what's his name? That was elected,
Mr.
Donald
Trump.
Trump, with his wife. He's right there with Governor Newsom. Freeways is closed down. All types of chaos, But thank you guys for tapping in and,
We still holding it down right here for
and
y'all.
hanging out with us, man. Yeah, today we started off cool. We weren't too late. We said 6 p.m. and we here 6:30. We had some technical difficulties with um with a camera,
We
but that's just
we had
typical stuff.
we had to call the IT department and we realized we didn't have an IT department and shit.
For real, man. We just made it happen regardless, man. But yeah, man. I definitely want to start off today with all this madness that's going on in this world today. Like, man, it's wild. With these fires, man. I never thought that it would get so crazy. Like I said it weeks before that. Yeah, it was already affecting us, but it seems like it's just ongoing. And um, it's a lot of people affected by it. A lot of people losing their belongings, but also um, now it's starting to affect our people, that are incarcerated.
Oh,
So
that's a trip, man.
that's something that I wanted to talk about with I wanted to talk about it with you guys, man, because I'm not sure if you guys know, but there's a Supermax County jail it is like the LA, it is the LA County jail, but it's just the LA County jail. Los Angeles County jail is so overpopulated that they made another jail to house LA County inmates, which Kostiak is in LA County, but it's near the mountains. So there's like 5,000 inmates over there. The majority are blacks and Latinos, and um,
Is it because it's like overflow, or it's just
yeah,
like too many people in jail? They open that up after, or was that like an original one, or do you know?
yeah. Well, no, LA County Jail was original,
Mm-hmm.
and then Supermax was created after that.
Oh, okay.
So I think they bought Supermax. From my understanding, I need to do my research on it, but I've practically lived there for years. So from my understanding, it was built like a federal prison, and then we ended up. I mean, not we, but the LA County sheriffs ended up buying it or whatever the state for it to be used for um local inmates. Like so inmates that were not sentenced yet. Like they were still presumed innocent.
Like
And,
fighting their
and
cases
fighting
then
their
and stuff.
cases and stuff. So everyone mostly that's in Supermax right now is probably from Los Angeles area, anywhere from Long Beach to Inglewood to Compton to Whittier to San Gabriel Valley, from San Fernando Valley, all around. But since LA County Jail in Los Angeles is overpacked, they send most inmates over there to Costiat, which is over there by Six Flags.
Oh, all right. Yeah, yeah.
So all our
You know people that are locked up
all our
there.
loved ones. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why today I wanted to talk about that. Like this. It's wild, man. How um I seen it happen firsthand because how I mentioned before I was helping out some youth at risk, and when I was over there helping them out, I became familiar with some, and then my PO called me and told me that I didn't have to attend this Friday because of the fires, you know? So seeing the fire break out, I was just like, oh shit, that's nearby where I was working at, you know? And and then knowing that I've done time is real serious business, man, because I've been there, man, and then I started getting phone calls from a lot of friends, wives, sisters, brothers, like, hey man, what do you think is gonna happen? You know, like, cause my brother's in there or my husband's in there. And then I started getting phone calls from the homies inside, like, man, like we could literally smell the fire from in here, man.
Oh damn. Yeah.
It was so close. So if you guys check out the news, it was so close, like 3 miles away. It's still pretty far, but 3 miles is already enough to evacuate. So they did have an evacuation order, but the excuse was that they didn't have enough buses. So I was assuming that maybe they would shut down the court system right now. And, you know, when there was COVID, they did an emergency order, you know, for people not to go to court. They could have done that, an emergency order, and shut down the court system and then got all those buses to go pick up the inmates, you know?
Hmm.
But their excuse was that they were unable to um, move the inmates due to the that they didn't have enough buses, that they only had 20, you know?
Hmm.
So
And
put
then
it,
in this case, they can't just take school buses either, huh? Like it has to be like buses where they can chain you down in a way, right?
yeah, because these are some high risk inmates. I mean, their cases are some high risk, some are low, you know, but they did evacuate from what the news said, 450 from pitches. Pitches. Let me tell y'all something. They making it seem like all of that is separate facilities. Like that is the same place. All they're doing is like if you see anything about movements, all they did was move somebody from the front of the house to the back of the house, if that makes sense. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so
And that was complicated. They made it seem like it's overly complicated and stuff.
yeah, man, I was like, it was nothing like that, man. It's all fake news, man. But it's messed up because you have a lot of worried wives, a lot of people like, hey, Dopey, like, what do you think? Like, hey, can I get numbers to your lawyers? And people will really fight for their loved ones that are in there, you know,
Yeah.
because they so they ended up staying.
Oh man.
So meaning that even though they had an evacuation order, they told them that they have to
They're the
remain
exception.
sheltered. Yeah, they have to
Mm.
shelter and stay at the facility. And some of the fellas that called me in there, they were telling me that they were slammed down. You know, that pretty much they were on lockdown. They had to remain on their bunk area,
Let me try something.
and they had to remain on the bunk area, and and yeah, you know, the phones remained on, and you know, most deputies um pretty much, you know, didn't know either. You know, they weren't talking about no evacuation, so all of that was creating chaos, you know.
Yeah, that's one thing I was tripping out. So the guard would have to be there too, right?
uh the guards were there. Yeah, there's from my understanding is 1,000 uh sheriffs
Like
there.
deputies that are there.
Yeah, yeah, and then 4,500 inmates, and they're saying that it was just impossible to move all those inmates. I mean, we are gonna get rain tomorrow, hopefully, you know, and Sunday, and I
And
hope
that'll
they
cause a bigger problem, the mudslides and shit.
well the mudslides,
Yeah.
but I just think it'll take down
The fire,
the
right?
fires.
Mm.
But what's the move for when that happens again? You know, because this is not gonna stop happening. You know, like it's just this
Every
time
year, right?
we had some wins, and then like what's gonna be the remedy to that? You
Yeah.
know, the solution, because well they're saying just because it was concrete that it would have that they're okay, that they just moved them to a more stronger place.
Structure.
Yeah, stronger
And
structure.
that's kind of silly to say though, because the smoke is what's bad too. Like
Yeah.
people smelling the smoke messes up your lungs, or if you have allergy. I mean, that's a little bit. The lung thing is a big deal, you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, everyone is evacuated to leave. I mean, there should be, I'm pretty sure there's going to be some lawsuits.
Hmm.
There's going to be a lot of complaints coming from that.
Yeah.
Um,
Especially if, are there houses surrounding the jail right there? I've never
yeah.
been right there,
Yeah, well, that's
and
why,
all the
like,
houses were.
all of them were evacuated.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
now they changed it to, it was an evacuation to now they just, they put it down, I guess, an evacuation order, and then now it's down to a warning.
Hmm.
So things are getting contained, and that's cool.
Yeah.
Another
70. I saw one that was like 77% contained, but that was the first one here on Palisades and shit. Huh?
Yeah, 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 yeah. And another thing too, I just wanted to bring to the viewers too, just knowledge of what's happening, because uh, somebody that grew up there, like, you got a lot of homies that just like they don't complain. They don't, they're just like, man, what's, hey dog, just on that end, what is it that we can do, to, or that you guys can do to, for us? And I'm just like, bro, I'm not a governor, I'm not anything like that, man. All I can do, man, is keep you guys in my prayers, and hey, you guys know what's up, man. If some shit happens, man, like, or I hope that they let the gates, they open up the gates, man, and you just uh uh take care of your life, spare
Yeah.
your life. Cause you got to think about it, man. If fire comes right here and you're in a fucking cell, bro, think about it. Like,
That's fucked up.
that's fucking,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's wild. And I've been there. Never would I worry about a fire. Like, but
Mm-hmm.
thinking about it since I've been there, just like, wow, like, damn,
Yeah.
that's,
And this is the closest the fires have ever been to us, right? They're usually like on the other mountains. This hit like really close to us this time, dude, right here in Santa Monica Palisades area and shit, you know? So that's like damn, like right here. You know, like you can literally go on top of a mountain or like the hills here and then see the smokestacks, bro, right? Like of the shit just blazing
yeah,
up, you
yeah,
know?
yeah. You could step out and then you see, yeah, like, and it's crazy because one day you step out, it's to the left of where you're at, and then the next day, which I'm talking about Santa Monica, I mean
Mm-hmm.
that area, Palisades.
Mm-hmm.
Then the next day, you look to your right, there's this big fire happening in San Bernardino, and it's like, wow, like, damn. And then you look straight ahead now, north. So pretty much you look west, you see the Palisades. You
Yeah.
look east, you see the San Bernardino fire.
Yeah.
You look north, you see the Costiac fire, which I think they're
That's the
calling,
latest one, right?
that's the latest
Yeah.
one, man.
And then San Diego was in flames now too and shit, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
man, all over the place. And then now it gets to think like, dang, you're surrounded by fire.
yeah.
So I want you guys to know too, man. Like, I had this album ready to come out, with me and Yako 18 with Knockout. It's a compilation album, and guess what? We were gonna call it. I mean, we still gonna call it that, but it's not appropriate to drop it right now. We were actually gonna call the album Eternal Flame. So out of respect to LA and everyone struggling, and going through this chaos and this problem, we didn't drop it. I don't think it's a right time to drop the album.
Yeah. For people that are losing stuff and all
Yeah,
that, right?
man.
You
Like,
know,
how am I
kind of suck.
gonna, out of respect to LA and everyone suffering through the fires, all of us is struggling through it because all of us feel it. Um, Me and my manager, Raina, we want to go donate like what, like about 10 bags of clothes recently. Um, we're trying to do our part to try to help out, and not only homeless people, but if there's anywhere that we could go and sort out the stuff, like we try to go and try to help and sort out. Um, Also, is messing with businesses.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, all the kids in certain places are still going to school.
Yeah.
But I could only imagine if your kid's school was burned down.
Yeah, that's like the
Like,
high school burned down, the elementary burned down over there and stuff. You know,
yeah,
yeah, it's
yeah,
crazy.
man. So
And it messed with our business because the Rams game got moved to Arizona, so we couldn't do our tailgate. We couldn't be at the Rams game, which was a dope ass game too, right? But that's like selfish type talking, but still like it affects everybody. Like I had appointments out in Santa Monica that were canceled and shit because they had evacuation and shit. So I'm just like, oh, you know.
well, that's why, and two Smurf. That's what I didn't attend the last two shows that where I was tardy from. It was it's because of the fires, you know.
Yeah, yeah. My bad. We just had technical difficulties with these cables and shit.
It's all good, man. It's all good. But yeah, man.
Let's just solve that glitching problem right now. Hopefully.
Yeah, but let me look at Leo V. Thank you for the super, man. Much love to channel. I'm your in your younger years, young Dopey. Did you ever do fire camp? How does that program work in LA? And I appreciate you bringing that up, man, about the fire camps because I actually wanted to shed light on that because when I was sitting in my living room, uh, when the fire broke out at Kostiak, I seen it. I was like, oh shit, these white, which is nothing wrong with these white reporters, but
The Caucasian reporters, huh?
I'm just saying like they wouldn't know, like they're young, they're just out there reporting. There was four ambulances that are not ambulances, but they look like ambulance. It says Cal Fire. Those are the fire camp fire trucks, pretty much.
Mm.
So I seen it. I was like, oh man, it looks familiar. And then you seen a lot of men jump out of it. So they started interviewing them right away. But I knew that they were inmates, you know?
Mm.
So the reporter didn't know. So when she started saying, oh, these are our heroes right here that are helping fight the fire. And I'm like, damn, man, like, yeah, that's the props that they should be getting, you know? Because they are putting their life on the line, fighting for people's property. They're up in there, like, and they had the camera on them, actually cutting line, doing all types of things to save, like a motor. It was like a motorhome area. But my thing is, I never done fire camp. I did get sent, for Leo V, since he asked. I did get sent to Jamestown when it was a good yard. It was an active yard, and then I ended up getting off on some. We did our thing. Us and the Norteños were looking eye to eye. A riot cracked off, and then I ended up in the hole. And then I got separated from that yard. I went to the other yard, which it was Mariposa yard, and then the other yard was think um there's Mariposa yard and Calaveras yard was the other one. And at Calaveras yard we had a riot with the Bulldogs. So then I ended up going to the hole there and then getting kicked back out. So when I was in that prison is to prepare you to go to fire camp. It's pretty much you have to do a training there. I just never got to it, you know. So
So you would have been fighting fires and shit.
yeah, yeah, yeah. At that time, it was a good yard too. Because right now, if you're like in a 1 yard or 2 yard, in California, things get a little delicate if you're active Southsider or you're not. I'm not gonna get too much into that, but my whole thing is just that regardless, once upon a time when we were able to do fire camp, there was a lot of uh, good homies, meaning like active homies that were firefighters. Now as a human being without the program, yes, there are pretty much inmates that qualify to be able to be a firefighter or not a firefighter, but go and fight fires. And you get a time reduction and also you get a lot of luxuries like being able to you're not in a cell, like you eat very good.
That's what I was gonna say. You must get like a good meal and shit,
No,
right?
you get good meals and you get good pay.
Oh, you get paid too, huh?
You get paid, and then when you get paid, also, you also get out a qualified firefighter.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Huh?
bro. Yeah, yeah. So like it's wild. Like I'm just trying to, besides the politics and all that in the yard, because yeah, you got to give it to uh anybody that has made a transition from a negative to positive.
Yeah, I'm
So
trying to
me
do
just
something good, especially training for a career is dope. I think, you know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Having something to lean on, and I seen that when they put the mic on them, they're all like, "Hey, man, we want to thank you. You guys are heroes." I think they deserve that, man. Just
Mm.
to like not putting labels on anybody, but they really out there fighting, and you see these guys all tatted up and and really out there fighting, man. Like so, I'm just saying, man. Like you never know, like if someone had a heart attack out there, it's crazy, man. You got like a bum that be. I mean, it's fucked up to say, but if they gave you CPR, yeah, it wouldn't matter how much money you had or you didn't. You feel me?
Yeah, yeah.
Or status.
Shit, I'd rather get saved, dude, than care who the fuck saving me and shit.
Right? I'd rather get saved than who cares. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
exactly,
right.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, man. So, said Leo V. Thanks for the explanation, young Dopey. What they do at fire camp sounds honorable, putting life on the line. Yeah, most definitely.
And it's
Uh,
voluntarily too, right? It's not
you
like
have to qualify.
that's why like you want to do it, right? People that they don't just be like, oh, you're in jail, oh, you gotta go fight fires and shit.
Yeah, the way you do it, you got to be level 2.
Hmm.
Um,
Like they're not sending lifers there, right?
no,
No.
you got to be level 2, and then in order to have level 2, you got to have a gate pass. So have a gate pass, meaning that you're able to pass in the low, like the less security
Mm.
areas of the
Oh, okay.
prison
Yeah, yeah.
for a certain amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you're there, you're able to pick up tools. So they base it off security, and when you're there, you have to take the training. So where I was at in Jamestown, when I was in Mariposa and Calaveras, you have to go through a PFT training, which means a physical fitness training, and that's a 2-week training. Once you pass the physical fitness training, then you're put on the waiting line to be able to go outside every day to go learn how to fight fires. Which first they give you boots and a certain suit, and you got to learn how to. No, you have to train yourself to climb hills with certain weight on you.
Oh, all right, yeah, because they're fighting fires in the hills mostly and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
Huh?
yeah. So first, that's like step one, and then
I okay,
oh,
okay.
go ahead,
I
bro.
used to call it fire retarded.
Fire retarded.
But it's fire retardant, the suits and shit, right? Like
Oh yeah,
so
yeah, yeah,
they
yeah,
can
yeah,
burn up to a certain degree without it burning the flesh or whatnot, right? Yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah.
that's funny how yeah, I got that fire retardant suit and shit.
Oh man, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
I
Yeah,
was young for the record. I
yeah,
was young though.
yeah. So they from there you then from there you train on what you want to do. If you want to be like a saw, like so pretty much a saw would, I think is like very qualified for you to um like cut down trees and stuff.
Mm.
It's starting to glitch again.
Yeah, yeah.
But
It's just that one camera.
yeah, man. So and then there's other things where you could get different positions in the fire training, but yeah, man, it's you have all types of people out there. Like even my own probation officer, I was unable to see her because she got deployed to do certain things. And then obviously, like some places are very packed with what's it called with stuff to like waters and it's just all over the place though, like where they need volunteers to be able to put everything in order.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And help with the evacuations too, right? I mean, that must be crazy, dude. Like,
yeah, yeah.
I
Well,
mean, it's hard to evacuate people that are like free in their homes, right? Already, I can only imagine like having to do like an organized evacuation. Must be like fuck.
man, bro, I'm getting a little older, but just to see that because they had to evacuate the high school in Kosiak, and just to see the kids like all in panic,
Mm-hmm.
like they can't go anywhere without their parents picking them up. I mean, I think if us when we're younger,
Yeah.
we just step out and just leave, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But like now kids, they're very dependable on their parents. I can only imagine if I got a phone call that my son, like there's a fire and somewhere we live, like, oh man, I gotta go. And if I couldn't get to him, I'll fucking go crazy, dog.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Right? Like
Yeah.
you'll be like, you're supposed to. Like, how are you supposed to get your kids? But yeah, man, that's something that definitely I want to shed light to everyone, man. Keep Supermax, the homies over there, anybody like any race, blacks, whites, Hispanics, Asians. There's all types of people in our community. They're in there, and hopefully that the rain clears out the fire, and I hope they find a solution for the next time, man. Because just me being me and me having friends up in there. It was my phone was getting blown up by all types of worried people. You have a lot of uh people that mean well. All
Yeah.
it is that,
So there's nervous and stuff, right?
yeah,
They don't know, you
like
know?
how what would you can't even drive up there to save your people. They're calling you like, hey, we smell the smoke. Some people are laughing about it because the homies could always find some type
Humor
of
and something is
humor
it?
or something. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah. It's how we make the best out of everything, right? I mean, you know?
yeah, man. So the whole thing, it was just like, man, I feel for them. I'm also we're also sending a lot of messages and phone calls to, I'm in the entertainment world. We are, so we have a lot of friends that live in the hills, and people that we've worked with. You know what I'm saying? So uh, I've gotten messages from entertainers, like rappers to actors, telling me like, "Hey, Dopey, like, thank you for everything that you're doing, man. Like, trying to help us out over here in the hills, or like, hey, bro, if you need me, like, even me myself, man, like, I'm right there, reaching out to old friends that I know have family up there that have homes up there, just trying to let them know, like, hey, don't forget that you have a friend in me. If they need somewhere to stay or anything that I can do, even try to help them to find a hotel. I don't mind doing that, like
Yeah.
just
I saw a story on the news, dude. These family had came from Mexico City, and they were going to Universal Studios, so they were staying nearby. And the hotel they were on was everybody got evacuated, and the hotel was like, "Oh, you just gotta go." Like they weren't even giving them like an option, like, "Hey, you go stay over here." Like they literally came from Mexico, not knowing they were going to Universal Studios the next day, and it
uh
was like they had nowhere to go. Dude, like where do you start? As
yeah,
a
yeah.
tourist and shit. So that must have been shady to a lot of folks too. They had to go through that stuff. And when I saw that, I was like, damn, that's shady, man.
Yeah, man, just something that I think will humble you,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it'll humble you in these tough times. So uh you know, I don't want to put people's personal business out there as far as what rappers and singers and entertainers that were reaching out, man, because you know, I thought about that. Like, man, I could easily say this, easily say that, but nah, man. Like if anything, I think privacy right now is important, and um, you know, for the family and friends out there, you already know, we right here. Anything that we can do, shit, like we try to the best of our capabilities, But but yeah, man. Overall, just that's the most important thing that's going on right now.
Yeah, over here, man, we could smell a flame. We can smell the smoke. There's ash, like all over. It's crazy and shit. It's the second time I experienced this from fires that are like in the surrounding areas and shit. So it's just a trip to smell it. I'm a homebody regardless. I like staying at home and shit, or regardless what I do. Or I'm at work, always doing something. So it didn't really like hit me except for like the like our businesses and shit and shipping. Like shipping stuff out got delayed and stuff because we're like surrounded by valleys, so in order to get to like the distribution centers, you have to go through the valley where the fires are at, so trucks couldn't pass or they were delayed and stuff. So a lot of stuff was just getting delayed, so it messes a lot with people's income, people's livelihood and stuff, man. sucks, but what
Yeah,
can we
so
do?
let you guys know, had an album ready to drop just to give it to y'all, but I put it on. I'm postponing it for a few more weeks, but I am gonna remain calling it Eternal Flame.
Since
But
Trump's gonna fix the fires, that's why he came. No, he's gonna
we
put it.
came
He's gonna
because
put it out himself.
and
I
that's
think
another
this year.
topic I wanted to touch. With Donald Trump coming in and being a president. Like it's crazy how a lot of opinions, a lot of people that doubted him, they're shifting to, supporting him.
Mm.
um, Talking about politics, it could be funny, it could be not, but now when you grow up, you kind of see like, damn, um, this guy is really coming in and kicking ass, man. You know,
Hmm.
so
I mean, like, my personal opinion for sure on Trump. Are you? I mean, we ready to switch topics since you
mhm,
mentioned that.
mhm.
He got great ideas, bro. He got a lot of good ideas. Like
Yeah,
I think people should pay for our military. Like, and it's not my military, but I do pay taxes, so I call it mine. Like if they need protection, they should pay for it, right? Because look at South Korea. They have all our army over there, basically. Well, a lot of the army to protect them from North Korea. They're thriving, dude. Their economies are good. They're like expanding on technology, right? Like the quality of life is better there for folks and shit, healthcare, all that, right?
yeah,
But they don't have to pay for their protection. Same with Japan. Look how Japan thrives and all that, right? And then they don't have to pay for the protection because the U.S. watches them, right? So I think that they should give a budget what they would have spent on their army to us, dude. Yeah, to our nation, so that we can spend on our citizens too. So that's a great idea Trump had.
yeah,
To me. But then like the mass deportations and a lot of other stuff. To me, that doesn't jive well. Or removing
yeah. Of
people's
course.
citizenship because my parents were immigrants, so they would take my citizenship basically, I guess. And I haven't read into it. That's my ignorance of. Oh, I see that that's the bill, but I haven't read into it if it has to do with like an age. But regardless, I think if your parents made it here and they have you here, if you were born today, an hour ago, or whatever, nobody should have the right to take that citizenship from you, no matter what.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So things like that, and I think he has great ideas and a lot of other stuff. I think his execution and his people skills are poor, and that's what makes it harder to like him. You
Yeah,
know,
but also I do see that.
but
Uh,
he's a boss, right?
n-
Yeah,
yeah, but I just think he's very. He doesn't really care about which the people skills. I think it could weigh from like from one. Like sometimes you see him conduct himself in front of like today. I was watching him on TV when he arrived when
mm-hmm.
his body language towards Newsom. Uh, um, and Governor Newsom been talking shit about him from the gate.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, bro, we don't need that shit right now.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
when Trump showed up and Newsom, I seen them talk, and then you could see just easily they communicated, and then they shook hands. You seen a little tug of war, but then
mm-hmm.
they went to the media, and then Governor Newsom has always been like anti-Trump,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
at the same time, you see Trump like, yeah, but you need the federal government, right? And yeah, Newsom, he's our representative for our state, so he was just like, yes, I do,
yeah,
like we do. So they both said that they need to work together to find a solution.
yeah.
As much as crazy it sounds, I just always look at things, as far as we ain't gonna get nowhere by
Being divided.
yeah, being
Yeah,
divided like that. So to
for
me,
sure.
I seen them working together, and they're gonna sit together, and they're gonna make something happen. Do it,
Yeah, yeah,
and make progress in it. And yeah, to me, bro, like uh, all my businesses is legit, and yours is too.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I take that personal to say that, yeah, I pay my taxes and the government to handle shit like this.
Right.
So handle it.
Yeah, yeah,
You know
exactly.
what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah,
So take care of it
yeah,
because um, I know everybody in the hills are struggling, but at the same time, the last thing I want is for it to start fucking with my family
Yeah,
or
yeah.
fucking with our friends or my son. You know, that's my number one thing to be
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
nah, my son is good right now, but definitely, like I said, I think when Trump when he talks, I think it's silly to say, but he'd be like, yeah, he's just a Trump hater, but
Mhm.
like I think he could his his people skills there aren't so well, but
Yeah,
then
yeah.
again, I think he could. It's so easy to like. He doesn't care about our how would you say it, like our judgment towards that. Like I think sometimes you need to be blunt like that.
You do. You gotta be a boss sometimes,
Yeah,
right?
so to him,
Yeah.
he's not like, yeah, they're just a Trump hater, and two to see, I think it's crazy how he pardoned 1,500 people from that incident that happened at the White House
Yeah.
for the January 6th. I forgot what year it was, but
Mhm.
I mean, he's coming in like I'm gonna do what I said I was gonna do. Little things that stick out to me that is just like, you know what? Sometimes the attitude of just doing you is very important, you know?
Yeah, it
Like
is. Yeah.
so just like he's not giving a fuck. They even told him on camera, like, so what is this that you're signing? He's like, this is pardon. And they're like, what kind of pardon is he looks at them like full pardon. Like
Yeah.
full pardon, bitch.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
like just
Yeah.
like bam. And then like that's
And
what it is.
that's his right to be able to do that. You know, all presidents pardon people and shit too. You know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, one thing for sure, like me, like I said, I think like one seeing Governor Newsom accepted and all that, it's just because they could all hate each other, bro. But at the end of the day, you got to follow the pecking order. That's why the system works, right? Because you fall in place. You know, when people start falling out of line and all that shit, that's when it creates chaos and it's like, well, it creates resistance and nothing happens. We see that shit happen every time when the budget comes into effect, when they need to pass certain laws and they don't mix well, they don't play well, and nothing happens. And then we're the ones that pay. The taxpayers are the ones that pay the price for that, you know? And the other thing too with Trump too and all that. To me, I've seen enough politics to know, to my personal opinion. Again, I don't want to offend anybody, but my personal opinion, this is all a show. To me, this is all something that they create for us to be entertained. And I think that the real people that, and this sounds conspiracy and all that, y'all could, say whatever, but to me, the real people pulling the strings, you don't know their names, bro. You don't hear them. They're not on the news. They're not on TV. These are like wealthy, like I would say even billionaires. They're probably trillionaires by now, dude, you know? And these are the real guys, the real people that I believe make the roles and all that. And then they give us this show to keep us entertained, you know? That's why I think that everybody talks mess about themselves, but yet they're friends. Like Biden talks mess about Trump, but yet look at the policies; they're very similar. They all work towards one goal, right? Like it's not like Trump comes in and says, "Oh, I'm gonna throw everything these guys done," right? Look at TikTok; that's still a presidential issue, which is silly to me that a TikTok a social media thing would be a presidential issue, but that's what they make it. Do you know why?
What is that,
The
bro?
reason is it's a 500 or what, I don't know how many millions or billions of dollars thing that is not owned by the US. So the taxes are being not paid for things that are bought on TikTok, right? Because they're shipping from Asia most of the time. So all that money, we're missing all that tax money, right? So imagine if you had, that actually TikTok this Black Friday oversold by billions, dude. Oversold, and y'all can look that up. Oversold any big retailer in the U.S. on Black Friday. They actually sold the most ever in history, bro, on
TikTok.
Black Friday. TikTok.
But I was gonna, you know what about that too, man? About that topic, it's crazy how before Trump was going against TikTok,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's just like, man, as soon as he came in, he
Mm-hmm.
just did it again. Like
Yeah.
I guess he signed something, and TikTok came back on.
Yeah. Well, TikTok turned off that one time because they're trying to be compliant. The people that own TikTok, they don't want to get any like federal warrants or whatever. So they actually turned it off to make sure they can turn it off. And
Yeah,
then they turned it back on knowing, okay, we can turn it off and shit.
but I don't know if you see, there's
I think
people.
it's out of the market right now. I think if you get a new phone, I don't think you can download
Yeah,
TikTok right
yeah.
now and
So
shit,
there's people
Yeah.
there's people selling on
Their phones,
eBay.
yeah,
There are
I
people
saw that.
selling like $5,000 phones with TikTok on it already.
Yeah.
So you can't go to the app store and
And
get
buy it
TikTok.
right now. No.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if y'all want to buy my phone,
The price just went up.
you know what I'm saying?
It got TikTok. It got everything you needed.
You get hey.
And I think
I'll
Dopey
sell
has
it.
10K followers already in his
Yeah,
account, bro. You
I
know?
got I'll give it to y'all for the low price of let me see,
5K and shit.
6K.
Six
You know
K
what I'm
right
saying?
there. Right, right. For any
Holla at me.
for any influencers looking to continue their career and shit or kick off
Yeah.
their career. But watch, and maybe record on this episode or whatnot. I bet you TikTok before the year's over or in anytime soon is gonna be owned by an American company, and it's gonna
TikTok.
continue TikTok.
Hey man, I was barely starting to build my TikTok, and then like it's crazy, man. I'm just glad that we here talking all these important current events, bro,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I think it's important too that sometimes, yeah, we navigate with our supporters, like just to hang out with us, but um, like I just think sometimes people need to know that, man, we really serious about uh, where we're doing our business, where we're setting up our shop, where we're doing things,
Yeah.
and I think you guys should be uh, um aware, woke in your areas, and I know there's a lot of people from LA that check us out, but there's also a lot of people out of state, and definitely love to share our struggle and what we go through, and everybody's opinion, I think it makes everyone else better,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
makes
And
it
you
helps.
learn from each other, you know?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
definitely learn from each other or you're exposed to things that you wouldn't be exposed to just because of somebody else's walk of life, you know? Like I'm exposed by so much through your walk of life and shit, dude, you know?
Yeah,
And you're exposed to so much just because of my walk of life and shit.
of course.
Even
Yeah.
though we had similar humble beginnings and shit, bro,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Which is a trip, you know?
Yeah, man.
It's a
The
Smurf talking secret societies. It seems like that, but watch, just the money is what matters in the end in America, dude. Nothing else matters in America. All policies are made for money. Yeah.
I don't know. My whole thing is crazy. We could talk about this another
Another
time
episode,
about, because I do see Trump putting Gulf of America and talking about that there's a
Oh yeah, yeah.
possibility he's gonna send elite forces to go against the Mexican cartels, and like crazy talk. I did see like
You saw they moved so many soldiers to the border already, like thousands of troops
yeah,
activated in
like
the
pretty
border,
much
dude.
he's just setting a tone.
Yeah.
Like when you come and it's like you being the new supervisor at a job. Like you're gonna come and
Guns blazing and shit.
no, like you're gonna start being like, yeah, I'm on like the new
Yeah,
supervisor of McDonald's. Like you gonna cook the best burgers.
yeah.
You gonna give the best.
Don't a
Cus-
fry get dropped without me saying so. It's sure that.
you gonna give the best customer service. You're gonna come to work with a nice suit and tie, like,
Yeah.
and then let that shit pass a few months, and then you're gonna start getting comfortable.
As long, yeah, you're right.
What I'm saying, but
Yeah.
but who knows, man? Like, all this crazy war, like, the
Uh,
world's going crazy, man.
It is
So I just
crazy.
think Trump, he looks trigger happy, but I think that brings fear in all these other leaders
From other nations.
other nations
Yeah,
that
yeah.
will go again. I think that's the most important thing to me.
Yeah,
Like, fuck with Trump. That fool will go
yeah.
fuck with you.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
10 times more.
You saw he said we'll raise the tariffs 100% from China. So just tariffs are like taxes that other countries pay to sell goods here. So like for example, when you go buy a pair of shoes that's made in China, the government they charge 22% for the value of those shoes to get sold here that the government makes. So the highest one right now is like 25, 33% or something like that. So they would raise that to like 60 or 100%. Imagine like paying if a shoes cost $100, you'll pay $100 just to bring them in. That's already a $200 shoe plus profit. You're buying shoes for like $400 or $500 to make money back. So that's what those mean. Those duties. That's a dangerous thing for business because that means vegetables will go up, milk, everything that gets imported from another country, all the value will go up. So it'll be too expensive for regular Joes like me to buy for sure. And the other thing I was gonna say on the what's that thing called on the on Trump that we were talking about? Damn, it slipped my mind, so I'll let it go. But it probably wasn't gonna be nice and shit. Oh, so the thing we gotta be careful with. You guys remember when they made and this is not a conspiracy, these real facts, and when they designated the Taliban as a terrorist organization, you guys remember what happened, right? Guantanamo Bay went up, and they started kidnapping people from their homes and taking them to Guantanamo Bay, and using the dogs, having them butt naked to interrogate them because they lost their rights for trial, for arrest warrants or anything. You would just go out of suspicion, take them out of their house, boom, and question them to find leaders, basically, right?
Yeah.
At the end, it worked. They seemed like they found Bin Laden in Pakistan, right, because of that movement. But if they make the cartels in Mexico terrorist organizations and the army goes after them, that means that, like, if you get a phone call from here from a suspected cartel leader or member in Mexico, they can come to your house, kidnap you, and take you to wherever the fuck they're gonna put that campground, and then question you without having rights. So you will automatically lose your rights,
Yeah, but I
and that's
seen
to
too
target
that
Hispanics, I
there's
think.
there's like eight. I mean, there's I think what 8 inmates left or 4 inmates left in Guantanamo Bay, and one of them's been there like 10 years, and he still hasn't got charged.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because you lose your rights because you're a terrorist suspect now. So that's what I mean. That's the dangerous part about them doing terrorist organizations for cartels, because it exposes all Hispanics to being able to be taken from your home, kidnapped, and questioned without rights. You lose your rights automatically, dude. You know?
Yeah, the mass deportation thing too. I seen on TV they got they're allowing cameras to follow them like it's an episode of Cops.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, yeah, they did that in Boston where um they swept a gang of people, and the way they're doing it too is if you're collateral damage, meaning that if they go somewhere and they find you because you're there illegally, they're not gonna let it slide. Like
They're
pretty
not.
much they're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
take you in.
yeah.
But I can only imagine how that could put the country in debt too, though. Like because all of that's gonna cost money.
It costs money to mobilize the ICE agents and then to
Yeah.
deport them. But remember, they were deporting those small kids. There were small kids that got lost with their families. Like they'll never find their families, dude. Because they were like babies and all that shit. That I don't know. It
Shout
gets
out.
crazy, and I'm telling you, I'll keep going because I mean, I looked at a lot of that stuff because I mean, it's dangerous, dude. Like my wife, and then this is a personal thing. My wife believes in more government. I believe in less government because more government is in your house, in your TV, right? It's like a communist. And less government means you have more freedom, dude. But you have to fend more for yourself. So a lot of like welfare and all that stuff would go away. But more government means more welfare, more dependency on the government. And that's dangerous because then they start telling you how you should dress, how you should look, how you should work, right? Like all this stuff, bro.
Yeah, man. Very interesting on the current events that's going on right now in
Yeah.
California, around the world. Definitely love to bring this up more. We'll be a little more with a dialogue next time we come in and we talk. Thank you guys for your opinions on
Yeah, yeah, for
on
sure.
what we should do an episode on. We're open to anything. Shout out to my boy Just Junk Pros. Um, for that super. He said drinks on me. You have a good night, brother. You always there. You already know. If you need any metal, or anything, yeah, what is it like? Scrap. Scrap.
Oh yeah, just junk pros, man.
You, you
Yeah,
you got the number right in the corner. Like any junk that you need to be picked up, you hit him up.
and free quotes on there. The numbers right there on the screen. You can see it on the corner, man. If you need anything.
Yeah, and then shout out to my boy youngster from the midgets. Yay, double last. The homie KO. Shout out to KO.
KO's in the studio
He's
right
in
now doing
studio
grind
work.
mode, man.
Yeah, man.
We putting another EP together right now.
As far as youngster, man, like we gonna have some coffee soon, bro. Gotta sit down and talk to you, man. Catch up. Today we missed each other at the Lamo Mall, but definitely I gotta introduce you to that fire coffee. Now, the last topic, man, before we roll out Smurf, and then I bring this up, man, because I'm curious. It's away from the fires and away from the what's happening with Trump and the politics, right? Um, is I remember when we went to go eat dinner the other day, right? Just to sit down and talk about some moves, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Since we're talking about podcasts, we tripped out about American Cholo, man. Shout out to American
Oh
Cholo.
yeah, shout out to him, man.
Yeah, you had brought up to me that he just recently said that he's no longer going to do podcasting anymore.
Yeah,
Or
he actually did this last episode, I think, earlier this week, and he basically just said that I mean, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but the way I understood it was is that the game's a little watered down, and people are bickering over this or that, or fighting over this and talking mess over this and that, and I guess he has a good living with his construction business and all that. I guess he didn't really need the stress, and he wanted to spend more time with his peeps and his grandkids and shit. That the podcast was taking a lot of time, and as you know, and everybody knows, there's really not a lot of money in the podcast, bro, unless you're, doing a lot of views and all that stuff, man. You make a couple $100 a month or something. Some people probably make a couple thousand and shit. But it's a lot of work, right? You notice what goes into it. So that's basically what he was saying. So he hung it up.
so the reason why I'm bringing it up is just to shed light on that. I'm not
Are
sure
you quitting or
if the
something, or what?
community. No, I'm not sure if I'm not sure if the music community or people that are entertained by the podcast, if American Cholo did make that move as far as stepping back because there was too much controversy and he felt like it's too watered down. And I think that's like a huge um step, like he's taking a huge step to show that like he's not feeling the way
When you first started.
yeah, not only first started but also like how the direction this entertainment world is going.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy how um he had it seemed like he had a good platform. And I honestly was looking forward to one day going over there, chopping it up with the homie. We already had it in agreement this year. I would go pay American Cholo a visit, but I think that shows strength, for him to voice that opinion and be like, hey, you know what? I think all of this is going on because Smurf, as you know too, those are things that we discuss as well,
Mm-hmm.
because we don't want to do goofy ass shit or break any rules or create or rattle any cages. It just seems like controversy and doing things controversial, obviously,
Yeah.
is the only way for you to get paid.
Yeah. Get
I
the
mean,
views and
get
fucking
good
shit,
views.
right? Yeah.
Like we're trying to sit here and create our own platform and a foundation of something strong. We're
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
trying to piggyback anybody's drama or anybody's
Or give views at
formula.
somebody else's expense and stuff, man. Like that's messed up.
Yeah, man. So like, what my thing is, uh, I just think, shout out to American Cholo. If that's true, him stepping back due to him not feeling what the entertainment business is doing, doing too much clickbait, too much uh, um, drama, and all of that. Like, stepping back from it, it shows strength, man, because you don't want to be a part of the circus,
Yeah.
So um, sometimes, man, like there be times where we wonder, like, man, is what we do gonna bear fruit, But we're comfortable where we're at. But
Yeah.
to the entertainment, to the uh, um, entertainment world out there, and to those that support us, like we will do our best to bring guests, respectfully. We would do our best to make it as entertaining as possible, but definitely with staying in our lane, you
Yeah.
know um and definitely not getting out of character. We're
Yeah.
not
For
gonna
sure.
start doing skits right here and acting like we're taking flight on each other, and
calling people out and
yeah,
shit, you know.
calling people out like you a bitch, homie, and get at me, and I get it. Like it's entertaining if we start
Mhm.
talking about this person and that person. Like right now, I think we're the way we're talking about American Cholo in a positive way. You know,
Yeah, for sure.
we're
And
giving
then
them.
because
Mhm.
he gave the opportunity for KO to go on there. You know, he was always trying to get you on there and stuff. And I mean, to
Puppet.
me, it was a cool cat, man. You know, I never met him, but the other homie met him, and they said good things about him, bro. And I mean, that's dope.
I think American Cholo, you come out of retirement for me, right, bro? So
Yeah, yeah, do it
you know what I'm saying? Like, hey
exclusive
man,
one on one. You know, with
I
young
will.
Dopey and shit.
Yeah, we gotta sit down and talk, bro.
Yeah.
I like that, man. I think what's up, man?
I did see in the comments right here though that somebody did say I did see so his channel is continuing, the American Cholo channel is continuing, and they have a new podcast called The Boys. Is
Okay.
with his homie too. That he's cool too, and some other cat that they're continuing it called The Boys. Same setup, and all that stuff too. So I guess he passed the torch on too. You know.
Oh, that's dope, man. So
Yeah.
at least we could, hey, American Cholo and the Boys podcast. Hey, I commend y'all for doing that, voicing that. If I am correct that you step back,
Mm-hmm.
like the homie Smurf said, he's just not quoting it, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that's a strong move, man. Because honestly, that's sometimes, we're in limbo to be like, man, like, yeah, we look at each other, yeah, we can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Funny ass, not what you're
Yeah.
doing. I'm talking about what other people
Some other
some
podcasters
other
do. Hmm.
podcasters do, And as far as making your podcast like an entertainment about speaking about other entertainers, I mean that's cool. I
Yeah.
mean
Yeah.
that people put their business out there. Hey, go.
I did see a comment today too of somebody said, "Hey, if it's on social media, it's fair game.
It
Otherwise,
is.
it wouldn't be on there." And
It
shit.
is. It
You
is.
know, I
It is.
still wouldn't want to pick on anybody because that's just not you. You see how I am. I wouldn't want nobody to pick on me. For sure, or make lies about me or anything like that, especially. But I mean, we put ourselves in front. You had warned me too. Remember before we start doing it. You were like, "Hey, I don't know if you know, but the internet is still undefeated and shit."
The internet's undefeated like
That's
crazy.
Duffy's line right there. Hey, the internet's undefeated. You ain't gonna win,
Yeah, man. So
Octavio Medina, man, for his first super and shit, dude.
thanks for lacing me up. Saludos. Octavio Medina. That's right, bro. Shout
Appreciate
out
that,
to
man.
Octavio Medina for the first super, man. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. But I hope you guys understand. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I get stuck for words because I gotta watch my words because I do carry myself with integrity, self respect. I represent us. Smurf represents us. This is our podcast, and we want to make sure that the way we treat people is the way that they treat us, and the way they treat us is the way we treat them. And American Cholo
Mm.
has shown nothing but love and respect towards our camp
Yeah.
KO, to our boy Husta,
Mm-hmm.
from Dub City Entertainment. Like, so we want to extend ours. If you choose to step back from the podcasting, cool, man. But I hope that soon I could go sit over there, chop it up with y'all, American Cholo, and also
Well, the
your new
boys, man.
podcast, The
The
Boys,
boys, man, for
and
sure.
a big saludos over there and what you're doing, and in your construction business and all that, bro. And yeah, man.
For sure.
So
I do
we
want to say a couple things too
yeah,
before
go
we
ahead,
close
brother.
it out.
Yes, sir.
So y'all know we had that EP, still bumping it out there, man. Neighborhood music with KO. Make sure y'all tap in, drop a comment and a like on those audios. We have some visuals coming next week for sure. We have 2 music videos that we're gonna be dropping next week. So make sure y'all stay tuned. That's gonna drop on KO's channel as well too. So make sure y'all show some love to him. If you ain't subscribed, make sure you go and subscribe. That's one thing for sure. So that's a banging ass album. So let's make sure we play that up. We got on our website 15% off. So make sure y'all go cop some of them hats, man. Take advantage of these discounts. We still printing, we still shipping stuff out. It might be a little delays because of the fires, but it looks like it's clearing up. So hey, make sure y'all go to the website, thewestfactoryshop.com, and make sure, or youngdopey.com, and make sure y'all cop some of that gear, man. We got some new designs coming soon as well too. So stay tapped in on that, man. So that's gonna be dope right there.
Hell yeah. Well, everybody go hit that like button. Any comments? You know what I'm saying? Any constructive criticism will be appreciated. Love y'all.
Oh shit, Roto G, that's what's up.
Rolo
Thanks for
G,
tapping
shout out
in,
to
bro.
Rolo G.
You already know.
And everybody, man. Salute to everybody. Everybody stay safe out there. See y'all next Friday.
Thanks again.